Hi again. In this video, the second installment of Better Sex Equals Better Relationships, it's time to get serious. I'm going to show you the fastest way I know how to create an endless man in bed, which will help you nearly always reach an orgasm and make both yours and your man's orgasms mind-blowing. And here's a bit of good news. I've broken my process down into 5 logical steps, a short course. You can just follow along, and by the time you're done, you'll have an endless man in bed. I know, scary, right? I'm also going to show you how to use powerful techniques to turn your man on and show you when the right time is to start stimulating your man, and most importantly, techniques that will delay or stop him from coming altogether and to stop his ejaculation while it's happening. If you haven't seen the first introductory video, I'd encourage you to watch it. There's a link just above this video that will take you right to it. We're going to start by focusing on making your man last longer in bed. This is the path to the endless man in bed and very important in having a great relationship and mind-blowing orgasms. Right now, he might not last longer than 3 minutes, or maybe he lasts a little longer. So what I want to do is show you how to delay his ejaculation as long as possible. So when he does come, it's huge and feels great, and you'll be able to orgasm as well. Because if your man is already trying different methods and techniques to last longer, adding these techniques that you can do could start getting you much better results as soon as you use it. And less wait for more pleasure is always good. Now, I'm gonna move fast because I have a tendency to go on and on about this stuff because I dig it. So if you fall behind, you can always watch it a few times until you've got what you need. Step 1. Stopping the stream. First things first, your man needs this required exercise to stop his ejaculation, even with the techniques you are going to use. Let me tell you something, if he develops these skills, he'll be able to stop his ejaculation and feel an orgasm multiple times, making him multi-orgasmic. Luckily for us, this exercise is really easy, and what I'm about to show you is the fastest way to exercise. This exercise you can and should do for yourself as well. It will make your vagina tighter and in return give you more pleasure regardless of how big or small he is. Here's the deal. First, grab a bit of paper, open a document in your word processor, fire up Simple Note, or whatever you do to jot down stuff. The first thing I want your man to do is drink plenty of water. Every time he goes to the bathroom, he'll be practicing stopping the stream, and you should too. Now, if he is already doing this, great. There may be a few tweaks he needs to do to get it down right. Okay, when he's in the bathroom and starts peeing, he'll need to stop his pee. In the beginning, this might be very difficult, but luckily, he can practice this 3 to 5 times a day. Now, once he can stop his pee, hold it for at least 1 to 2 seconds, let it flow again for 1 second, and stop it again. And once the 1 second of flowing is done, he stops it again for 1 to 2 seconds. He'll need to repeat this the whole time while he pees. It might happen 10 times, it might happen 15, maybe 5. It's really that simple. Basically, what happens when he stops the stream is that he is building the required muscles to stop his ejaculation. Now, stopping pee is much easier than stopping an ejaculation, but it's the start he needs to do. And if you want more pleasure during sex, what you need to do as well. This is 70% of the ball game right here. Now, to get the rest of the 30% of stopping the flow, or at least aiding in stopping his ejaculation, he'll have to practice stopping the stream during the day when he's not peeing. Following the same steps as stopping the stream, he should now have conscious control, and you should too, of the muscles used to stop pee. In the same fashion, what he'll need to do is hold the muscles for 2 seconds and stop, hold for 2 seconds and stop, and repeat this for at least 10 times in one set. A set is basically one continuous exercise with rest in between before the next set. The sets can be done anytime during the day, while he is sitting or while he is standing, at work or at home, or while driving the car. These exercises are called Kegels, named after the guy who discovered them. Your man and you need to do Kegels at least once daily. More is better, and do it at least 3 sets each time, and a set means at least 10 for each set. While you may have tried Kegel exercises before, these are absolutely required in the 5 steps to an endless man in bed, so do it even if it didn't work before. See, it's not rocket science, it's just a simple exercise that works over and over again. No need to do something clever, because most of the time, new, clever stuff doesn't have results this exercise does. It works. The other huge benefit of Kegels for both you and your man is that blood will flow more into your privates than before. Your man will get more erect and harder than ever before because the exercises open up the blood vessels and allow more blood into his penis and your vagina. You'll both also receive increased pleasure because of these exercises, and dare I say, get your mind-blowing orgasms. Okay, so step 1 is to exercise the required muscles. Then let's talk about how important breathing is for an intense orgasm and to stop an ejaculation. Step 2, breathing for the cure. Now, I know you might be thinking this is some new age junk. Breathing, psh, I breathe awesome, yo. Well, the truth is, we lost our way in breathing. Many of us breathe through our mouths. We're losing 10 to 20% oxygen that should be absorbed into our bloodstreams when we breathe with our noses. There are huge other benefits breathing through the nose. Just take a look at a few of them. Reduce conditions like sleep apnea and heart conditions, reduce hypertension and stress, maintaining our sense of smell, reducing snoring, and so much more. Especially during sex. Where will we breathe when kissing someone? Through our nose, that is. It also helps a man keep an erection. Now, a great example of breathing will be a baby. Do you notice her belly? Her mouth also has a pacifier, so she's breathing through her nose, which she would do anyway even without the pacifier in her mouth. The reason I bring the baby into this is because as we become adults, we learned a lot of bad habits. We were poisoned by the images and other folks to breathe through our chests, as expanding our bellies seems unattractive. If you ever watch a baby pick up something, they will bend their knees. But for an adult, you have to remind an adult, pick it up with your knees, not your back. Most adults will bend their backs to pick something up. Breathing is key for a man to be endless in bed. It's the most important thing a man can do. The technique a man and you should use is called the 10-1-10 breathing technique. It's really simple, but it will get great results. To get started, you'll just have to breathe through your nose for 10 seconds, inhaling through your belly, expanding your belly. We have a bad habit of breathing through our chest because if we breathe through our bellies, well, it makes it hard to suck in our gut. We gotta let our guts go. If you look at a baby, for example, their bellies just stick out. It's as we grow up when we start sucking in our bellies to look skinnier. So again, inhale for 10 seconds, letting your belly expand. Hold for 1 second. Now exhale, let the air flow out through your nose and mouth is okay here for 10 seconds and let your belly flatten naturally. Have your man repeat this 10 times a day. It's great to use during sex too. It will literally stop him from ejaculating. Now, if you want to orgasm, you can do the opposite. Hold your breath at times when you are near orgasm and your orgasm is more likely to happen. Same goes for your man, but his ejaculation will happen at the same time as well. Have him always breathe for him to last longer. Step 3. Turning your man on and foreplay. Now is the moment of truth to use the previous 2 steps. Breathing and Kegel exercises to make it work during foreplay. As you know, it's really easy to turn a man on. You can literally shake his hand and he's ready for P&V action. I found that awesome P&V saying on Gawker in the comments. The secret here is that if a man takes time to be turned on, he'll be able to last longer. Because if a man receives stimulation too early on his penis before it's fully erect, he won't last as long as if he was fully erect before receiving stimulation. Basically, you're going to need to turn him on. Not just flip the switch that makes his penis hard, you want blood flowing throughout his body and especially into his penis. You know what I mean. Your man is extremely turned on, wants you bad, and is really hard. Something just flipped the whole switch in his body and he wants to make love to you like right now and really badly. That's the goal for every time you turn him on. Turn him on so much that he wants you and can't stop himself. Now, the best method to turn him on is what I call the hands-off technique. It's exactly as it sounds. You basically keep your hands and mouth off of his penis. What you focus on is kissing, touching, caressing his whole body instead of just that one small focus spot called his penis. You'll also be using your voice, licking his ears, whispering sweet nothings into his ear. Sweet nothings? More like sweet somethings. Here are some great sweet nothings. Of course, you'd use them at different times depending on if he's licking you or you are licking him. You are turning me on so much. Wow, honey, that's hitting the right spot. And you look so sexy right now. Whatever it takes to turn your man on, you know him better than me. When you combine all these hands-off techniques, he'll be turned on and have a burning desire for you. He'll also last longer because you didn't stimulate him too early. Step 4, the 30-second rule. Okay, now you covered all the pre-P&V fun, which translates to penis and vagina fun. Now we get to the good part. This is where the preparation counts. After going through those exercises and now foreplay and turning your man on, it's time to get busy. Basically here, we'll use the 30-second rule. It's very important to follow so your man becomes mostly endless. The 30-second rule is a rule that says to stop moving, stop thrusting, stop whatever you are doing for 30 seconds when your man is near ejaculation. Yes, even if you are 35 seconds away from an orgasm, this rule still applies while your man is trained to be an endless man in bed. You have to stop at least 10 to 15 seconds before his ejaculation, because if you stop right on it, well, it's difficult for him to stop his ejaculation for now. What you'll need to do is set up with him a signal for when he is near ejaculation. You are the one on top and moving, but if he is, he'll need to control himself. Also, be aware of your movements. If he is close to coming and you move even a little bit, he'll explode. The more and more you know his signals, how his penis moves when he's near ejaculation, how his breathing is, and the more you know when to stop. Use the 30-second rule whenever he is near ejaculation. Remember, 10 to 15 seconds before ejaculation, you stop and he'll nearly be an endless man in bed. Step 5. The magical techniques. Now, this is the last but very important step that makes your man endless in bed. These techniques I'm going to teach you have been used for thousands of years in Taoism, Kama Sutra, and Tantra that I mentioned to you in the last video. Being used for thousands of years means it's proven and it works. Okay, for the first technique, it's one your man does. I call it the 10 thrust technique. Your man basically thrusts to a count of 10, 9 shallow thrusts where half or less of his penis enters you, and 1 deep thrust where he goes all the way inside you. A lot of men go crazy with their thrusting and stimulate themselves too much by thrusting too deep too much. Controlling his thrusting, he'll have more attention to his body when he's near ejaculation. The 10 thrust techniques will also delay his ejaculation. It's also a great surprise to you too when he does shallow thrusts and that random long thrust. It'll keep you on your toes. The 10 thrust techniques can be used throughout sex or near when he's close to ejaculation. Tell your man to get creative so the last thrust is not predictable. This next technique is really simple, but if done wrong, can hurt. So take caution and do it softly. The technique we'll use is called decocking. When a man is near ejaculation, what happens is that his testicles rise up toward his body. They get round and ready to blow. If you have a chance to see this while playing with them, watch. It will actually happen. Most men don't even know what happens, but it's a secret about his body that will help you control and delay his ejaculation. You'll be using decocking with the 30-second rule. A few moments before the 30-second rule happens is when decocking will be used, and during the 30-second rule too. Both you and him can do it, so it's good for you and him to learn because it might be easier for him to reach around than for you if you're face down or on the bottom. All you or he does is basically cup his testicles with your hand when he is near ejaculation and slowly pull them away from his body. In the beginning, you want him to stop thrusting or you to stop moving, but over time, this technique can be used to delay ejaculation while thrusting is happening or if you're using your hands or mouth. This technique can be used before he is near ejaculation as well, because a man's testicles literally pull up to his body over time. So if they are kept away from his body, ejaculation is delayed. It's strange how this works, though it's just how a man's body works, so use this technique and have him use it to delay ejaculation, especially during blowjobs to train him. That's it. You now have an endless man in bed. In the next video, I'm going to tell you what to do with the endless man you just made, to experience multiple orgasms, to have mind-blowing orgasms, etc. We'll also cover the 15-minute orgasm and some of the best positions to experience orgasms in. But remember, the first thing you need to do with your endless man in bed is practice in bed so that he can have consistent results and be endless and not prematurely ejaculate. Seriously, that's 90% or so of what I do to be an endless man in bed. Now, of course, there are a bunch more techniques and exercises like the $1 million spot, which can be used to stop ejaculation while it's happening, but the fact is, starting out with these 5 steps is where most of my and other men's results happen. You can do this. In just a few minutes, I've shown you what I do to be endless in bed, and you're about to hear how to have the best orgasms in your life with just a few simple steps. I really enjoyed teaching, so I really loved making this video for you. I hope your brain is spinning with ideas and craftiness about how to get an endless man in bed. And once again, I'm off to make you the next video in the series, and that's where we talk about you experiencing the best orgasms in your life multiple times, so indulge me a couple of days to get it ready for you. Remember, don't just do it later, cure it tonight.